What if Sirius Black never escaped? A life without a godfather? In the vast, intricate tapestry of Harry Potter's life, there are threads of hope and threads of despair. One of the deepest wounds Harry carried was the knowledge that his parents' best friend, his godfather, was a murderous traitor locked away in Azkaban. But what if that truth never changed? What if Sirius Black, innocent as he was, never escaped the cold, soul-sucking walls of Azkaban? This what if doesn't just alter one man's fate. It redraws the entire map of Harry's lonely journey, shaping him into a profoundly different hero. Or perhaps a different kind of tragic figure. The unbroken chains, Sirius's continued imprisonment. Our story's grim starting point. Sirius Black, falsely accused, remains locked away. The injustice of his plight would fester, not only for him, but for the few who still held a sliver of doubt about his guilt by Dumbledore. However, without concrete proof or a desperate breakout, the wizarding world would continue to believe him a traitor. Years of Dementor exposure would inevitably take a heavier toll. His mind, once sharp and rebellious, would be further eroded, his spirit dimmed. The hope for freedom, the spark that ignited his escape, might never materialize, leaving him to slowly succumb to the despair. This would be a fate far worse than death for the vibrant Sirius we eventually came to know. Harry's deepening isolation, no family, no hope. The most immediate and heartbreaking impact would be on Harry. In the original timeline, Sirius's escape provided Harry with a desperately needed connection to his past, a sense of belonging, and a true family bond. Without it, Harry's isolation at the Dursleys would deepen. He would remain convinced that he had no one left, truly orphaned in spirit. The brief glimpse of hope and fatherly love he found in Sirius would never materialize. This profound loneliness could make Harry more cynical, more withdrawn, or perhaps, ironically, even more determined to seek out justice and truth on his own, without the emotional anchor that Sirius provided. He might never fully trust adults or institutions, relying solely on Hermione and Ron, or even becoming a more reckless and independent figure. Prisoner of Azkaban, the true betrayal continues. The third year, originally defined by Sirius's thrilling escape and eventual exoneration to Harry, Ron, and Hermione at least, would become one of agonizing stalemate. Harry would likely still learn of Sirius's supposed escape and feel the primal urge for revenge. But without the time turner or a desperate confrontation leading to Peter Pettigrew's capture, Sirius would remain a public fugitive, an unsolved mystery, or perhaps simply a forgotten prisoner. Lupin would remain an isolated figure, perhaps never even revealing his full history with the Marauders. His friendship with Sirius still a painful, unresolvable secret. Peter Pettigrew would likely remain hidden, a secret agent for Voldemort, growing in power and influence, feeding information to his master unchecked. The loss of Peter's capture would be a massive blow to the light. Voldemort's return, a missing alliance. When Voldemort inevitably returns, the absence of Sirius Black from the Order of the Phoenix would be a gaping wound. In our known timeline, Sirius's home at Grimmauld Place became the Order's headquarters, his resources invaluable, and his knowledge of the pureblood world crucial. Without him, the Order would lack a central, secure base. Key information might be harder to come by, and the psychological impact on members who remembered Sirius as the traitor would linger. Harry would face Voldemort without his godfather's direct support, his unwavering belief, or his desperate warnings about the dangers of the Ministry. This version of Harry might be even more reckless, driven by a profound lack of adult guidance, seeking a fight without the grounding presence of a true guardian. The prophecy, the Ministry, and the final war. Increased vulnerability. The prophecy, a driving force in Harry's fifth year, would be handled differently. Without Sirius's personal stake and direct involvement, Harry might fall into emotional traps more easily, making him more susceptible to Voldemort's manipulations. The Department of Mysteries battle without Sirius's presence, might lead to even more tragic outcomes for the Order members involved. Or perhaps Harry and his friends would face even greater danger alone. The continued freedom of Peter Pettigrew, his secrets unrevealed, would mean Voldemort has a direct spy, potentially undermining Order operations from within, leading to devastating ambush or foiled plans. The final war would be a more arduous, prolonged struggle. The light side significantly weakened by the absence of one of its most courageous, if volatile, warriors. The lingering shadow, Harry's post-war life. Even if Voldemort was eventually defeated in this grim reality, the cost would be immense for Harry. He would have won, but without ever truly knowing the family connection he desperately craved. The shadow of Sirius, the supposed mass murderer, would loom large, a constant reminder of the injustice in the world and the loneliness of his victory. Would Harry ever truly heal? Would he ever feel truly complete? The emotional void left by Sirius's absence would be a permanent scar, shaping his relationships, his future, and his sense of self. The wizarding world would have its peace, but Harry's personal journey would be one of profound, unfulfilled longing. What if Sirius Black never escaped Azkaban? It's a question that paints a picture of a world where justice is delayed, hope is denied, and the truest heroes remain unsung, imprisoned by lies. His absence isn't just a missing person. It's a missing piece of Harry's soul, a gaping void in the fight for good. It reminds us how profoundly one single act of truth, or its absence, can reshape an entire destiny. What are your thoughts on this heartbreaking what-if scenario? Share your insights in the comments below. And don't forget to tell us which other what-if theory from the world of Harry Potter you'd like me to delve into next. Your ideas truly help shape the magic here on Omniva.